once again rendered homeless, once again in search of safety, even if it is momentary. After fleeing the now nearly destructed northern Gaza, heeding Israel's evacuation orders, the displaced Palestinians taking shelter in the south have now been ordered to move further south towards the Rafah border with Egypt, as Israel expands its assault on the besieged territory. Mohammed al-Asi, a displaced Palestinian from northern Gaza, who lost her son to an Israeli attack, now finds herself in another camp in the al-Mawasi area along with her daughters.
ورحلونا من دورنا وجابونا أخانونا وجينا أخانونا سايب شردونا هنا والواحد مش قادر يقول إشي غير حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل. وين بدنا نروح؟ وين بدنا نروح؟ بس حلونا خلي الدنيا تحلنا. وين نروح يا أحلى؟ إيش نسوي؟ فيش أنا وبناتي ولاية وابني شهيد وملناش حدا. وين نروح زي ما أنتم شايفين في الشارع قاعدين.
Like al-Asi, hundreds of Palestinians have made their way to al-Mawasi, a narrow strip of desolate barren land that has become the newest tent city for displaced Palestinians. The small town on the southern coast of the Gaza Strip, with an area that is 1 kilometer wide and 14 kilometers long, has been declared a humanitarian safe zone by the Israeli forces, a safe zone which is without food, water, and sanitation, as pointed by rights groups working on the ground. This is just one of the many camps in the area where displaced Palestinians are struggling to find shelter and comfort. While some are just sitting on the roadside due to a lack of resources and space, others are trying to build tents with plastic sheets and wooden poles to protect themselves from the cold and anticipated rain.
وين بدنا نروح؟ شردنا على حمد وهنا من حمد اجينا هنتبهدلنا واقسم بالله الليله ما حدا نام فيهم. ما نمناش من السقعه بدنا شوادر. طلع هذا كله لو شتت الدنيا اقسم بالله حتدلف علينا. صحيح. وهذا الحطب قاعدين بنلمله شقف بس عشان نطعم اهل صغار.
Apart from displacing the already homeless Gazans, the latest Israeli evacuation orders have caused panic and confusion among the war-hit population. On December 2, a day after the 7-day truce between Israel and Hamas ended, the Israeli army published an online map of the Gaza Strip, dividing the enclave into more than 600 numbered blocks, and asked Gaza's civilians to identify the block corresponding with their area of residence and evacuate when ordered. The next day, Israel used the grid system to order evacuation for the first time when military spokesperson Evacuation posted warnings online urging Palestinians to evacuate from about 20 area zones in Gaza, with 3 arrows on a map, all pointing south indicating where people should go. However, leaflets distributed ordering evacuations were inconsistent with online warnings, which confused the residents.
قصفوا دورنا وقتلوا أطفالنا ودمرونا وهججونا هنا ولقيتها طلعوا لنا قرار جديد بدهم يعملنا البلوكات وهذا البلوكات احنا ما بدنا اياها. ما احنا بنعرف ايش معنى هذه كلمة بلوكات. احنا بدنا يرجعوا على بلادهم على أراضيهم واحنا نرجع على أراضينا. احنا بنعرف ان الجيش الاسرائيلي عمل فينا هيك ما طلعنا من اراضينا ولا من دورنا متنا فيها لان الشهاده احسن من هالدل اللي دلونا اياه.
Palestinians in Gaza are now saying that are running out of places to go. Some Palestinians are fleeing for the 4th time since the outbreak of violence on October 7th. The Gaza Strip, bordering Israel and Egypt, is sealed. Many of the territory's 2.3 million people are now crammed in the south. The United Nations estimates that some 1.9 million Gazans are internally displaced, over 3/4 of the Strip's population. The disabled Palestinians and those accompanying them are among the worst affected by the war and subsequent evacuation orders.
أبويا مقعد يعني لما بده ينقل بده 4 يمسكوه. طب إيش كل شوي بدنا ننقله إحنا من مكان لمكان؟ حددوا لنا مكان آمن وإحنا بدنا نقعد فيه. إحنا المدنيين ما لنا ذنب.
Many journalists and human rights workers on the ground in Gaza are saying that there are no safe zones left in Gaza. Even shelters are not safe. As of November 23, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency reported that at least 191 displaced Palestinians in shelters were killed and 798 were injured. Meanwhile, Israel continues its military offensive, which has so far killed more than 20,000 Palestinians, mostly civilians, including more than 8,000 children. Israel promised vengeance after the Hamas armed group carried out a surprise attack on October 7 inside Israel, killing up to 1,147 people and taking some 240 people hostage, some of whom were released during the truce. Amid fierce fighting between Israel and Hamas and almost constant Israeli attacks from land, air, and sea, Gazans continue to chase what now seems to be the mirage of safety.